it's not only a paper exercise actually, because there is a lot of time involvement in there, a lot of estimations are there. So it's not a paper exercise, it's more as a strategic planning for your company to reach a certain level. Okay, but so how you can make this useful? You can use to brainstorm the strategic direction and create the different scenarios. What if we want to focus on volume? What if we want to sell cheap but get a lot of volume? What will happen? You need a lot of people for your marketing support, you need a lot of production, you need, is it the capacity enough for your factory, correct? Or will you have enough demand for your products and services? So you need to create different scenarios. Or if you are not able to sell, how many you can sell, but what is your break even? Can you charge a higher price? What will be the disruptions in future that are coming from competitors? How will you deal with them? Because let's say once the startup is launched, there are other people who may want to do the similar thing. So how will you differentiate from the other startups or differentiate from the other businesses? So that is something you need to brainstorm in the budgeting process, because budgeting process is not based on the past, right? It's for future also. You need to estimate what will be the future gonna like, how the economy is doing. If you are projecting that okay, maybe let's say some startup is want to do the online shopping, if you know that the economy in overall is gonna grow and it's not going to grow very fast, or the income level of the peoples are not going to grow, so can you expect a very high growth? Not really, right? And if let's say the government is not allowing you to charge online, the regulatory is not available, then how will you make a reasonable judgment? But on the other hand, if you know that government is pushing for cash free economy, and you will see a lot of online transactions, then you can actually plan ahead. But if you don't plan that out, by the time the actual regulations is out and you are not ready, correct? You may not be ready to accept the online payments, you may not have the system, you may not have been connected with the business. So how will you accept at that point of time? How will you exploit the opportunities which are posted by the future changes, which you know now is going to happen, right? So budgeting will help you to identify whatever opportunities are going to come, whatever threats are going to come, and you can plan ahead of time to exploit those opportunities or to avoid the threats. Okay, so that needs a lot of brainstorming from the team, the core member of team, and evaluate the scenarios for your overall financial performance. So that's why we create the planning, the financial models, different set of profit and loss statements. So when we are doing this, we will learn only on one profit and loss statement, but actually when you are doing budget, you can create different scenarios. Maybe best case scenario, worst case scenario, a shift in a strategy, what if this happened. So you can do a lot of what if analysis in the Excel, and then choose one path out of all the scenarios, whichever is the most beneficial for you, correct? And then measure the performance against your set standards. So budgets, once you set up the budget, finally, that will set up your ongoing performance analysis KPIs. So that will help become your KPI, correct, for each department, because you have set up the budget for each department separately. So now you can actually on a monthly basis go and measure, are we doing what we are supposed to do or not? If the situation changes dramatically, then you need to adjust your budget. But it doesn't mean that once you set up a budget for 1 year or 3 years, you have to blindfoldedly follow that budget. You may need to adjust if there are situations which requires you to change. Don't just follow the budget once done and you cannot change it. It doesn't work that way. Budgets are just only a guideline, just a plan, but you can always change the plan, correct? Okay, so what are the different components